Hello students, welcome to the third year class of Computer Engineering and Information Technology for the subject Client Side Scripting, and our subject code is 22519. Today we will going to learn the third chapter. First we will see today's video's learning outcomes. We will see today's video's learning outcomes. The today's video's learning outcomes are input element of a form. We are studying chapter number 3, form and event handling, and in this chapter we will learn about the building blocks of a form. In that topic we have to learn about the input element of the form. Input element of form. The input tag specifies an input field where the user can enter data. Okay. The input element is the most important form element. As the word to word meaning, input means the input the value from user or input some data from user. So in the input tag element, it display several waves depending on the types of attribute. Then syntax for this input tag is input type equals to value. Now we will see some HTML input type attributes, means input tag type attributes. So this is the table, and these are the value, description and uses for that particular input tag type. So first is our button. A button defines a clickable button mostly used with a JavaScript to active a script. It uses for input type is equal to button and value is equal to submit. Means while using in the programming language, we have to write input type is equal to button, means it will display the button, and the value is equal to submit, means after clicking that button the data will be submitted. Okay. Now next is the checkbox. Now it checkbox means it is the tick box. It defines a checkbox. It checks as shown in the square box, that is ticked, means checked when activated. Checkboxes are used to let a user select one or more option of a limited number of choices. So checkbox means we have to tick in that square, and it uses as input type is equal to checkbox, means simply writing this in the output there will be a square of a checkbox. Okay. Now next is our image. So image defines an image as a submit button. To the path to the image is specified in the src attribute. Src means source, means src stands for source. So it specified in the src attribute. So why it specified in src attribute? Because there is a path or the image is saved at a particular location. For that location the src attribute used. So this is like we can write this as input type is equal to image src equal to the particular path, means the path of our computer or path of our that image, uh, path of that image. Okay. Now we will see some HTML input type attributes, means input tag type attributes. So this is the table, and these are the value, description and uses for that particular input tag type. So first is our button. A button defines a clickable button mostly used with a JavaScript to active a script. uh, it uses for input type is equal to button and value is equal to submit. Means while using in the programming language, we have to write input type is equal to button, means it will display the button, and the value is equal to submit, means after clicking that button the data will be submitted. Okay, now next is the checkbox. Now it checkbox means it is the tick box. It defines a checkbox. It checks as shown in the square box, that is ticked, means checked when activated. Checkboxes are used to let a user select one or more option of a limited number of choices. So checkbox means we have to tick in that square, and it uses as input type is equal to checkbox, means simply writing this in the output there will be a square of a checkbox. Okay, now next is our image. So image defines an image as a submit button. To the path to the image is specified in the src attribute. src means source, means src stands for source, so it specified in the src attribute. So why it specified in src attribute? Because there is a path or the image is saved at a particular location. For that location the src attribute is used. So this is like we can write this as input type is equal to image src equal to the particular path, means the path of our computer or path of our that image, uh, path of that image. Okay. So next is our hidden. Hidden defines the hidden input field. As the word to word meaning, hidden means some hidden, means it defines the hidden input field. The input type is equal to hidden defines a hidden input field. A hidden field let web developer include data but that cannot be seen or modified by user when a form is submitted. Okay, a hidden field often stores what database record that needs to update when the form is submitted. While the value is not displayed to the user in the page content, it is visible and can't be edited using the browser's developer tools or view source functionality. Do not use the hidden input as a form security. Means if we think that hidden means secure, if we have hidden, if our data is hidden then it is secure. So do not use the hidden input as a form of a security. So this is not for a security purpose, but it will it will for the purpose of some it hide the data. uh, it we can use is that in this um, input type equal to hidden. So next is our password. Password defines a password field. The input type is equal to password defines a password field that characters are masked. Any form involves sensitive information like password should be served over HTTPS. And uses of that is input type is equal to password. So password means it is some string, means group of characters. It is masked, it is already masked, means character are masked in the password field. Okay. So next input tag type attribute is radio. Radio defines a button. Radio button are normally presented in the radio groups. It is a collection of radio buttons describing a set of related options. Only one radio button in a group can be selected at a time. uh, we can use this as a input type is equal to radio, id is equal to male, name is equal to gender, and value is equal to male. So second radio button is input type is equal to radio, id is equal to female, name is equal to gender, and value is equal to female. And third is input type is equal to radio, id is equal to other, name is equal to gender, and value is equal to other. So like this we can present a radio groups for describing a set of related options. But at a time we can use only one button. Means in this uses the applicant may be male or female or other. So we have to choose the one particular option for this radio button. Means when we have to choose the one particular option, at that time radio buttons are used. Okay. Now next is a reset button. So reset defines a reset button. The input type is equal to reset. Define a reset button which resets all the form values to its initial values. It avoid reset buttons in your forms. It is frustrating for users if they click them by mistake. So form will be reset. Means so generally avoid the reset button. Okay. And the use of this is input type is equal to reset. Then next input tag attribute are submit. It defines submit buttons. Means input type is equal to submit defines a submit button which submits all the values to a form handler. The form handler is typically a server page with a script for processing the input data. The form handler is specified in the form's action attributes, and it will be used as a input type is equal to submit. Means this button is used to submit the value which are entered by the user. Okay. Now next is a text. So text is a default. It defines a single line text field. It creates a text entry field as a input type equal to text, and it defines a single line text field. Okay. The default width of the text field is 20 characters. So meaning of this is ki we can enter up to 20 characters only in a single line. We can use it as a input type is equal to text. So these are the input tag type attributes. Now we will see in details one by one. So our first input tag type attribute is text. So it is used within a form to declare an input element, a control that allows the user to input the data. Means it is used for the entering the data through the user. Okay. And text defines a single line text field. It creates text entry field. The input type is equal to text, and it defines a single line text field. The default width of the text field is 20 characters, and the syntax is the input type equal to text. This is the syntax for the text. Now we will see one program by using input text tag. So this is our program. Doc type is HTML. In the HTML tag there is a head tag, and in head tag there is a title tag. Our title is HTML input tag text tag. Okay, end of the title, then end of the head. Now in the body part we have to declare the form. So form form tag. Then first, for the first name, we are going to declare the first name as a input type is equal to text, name is equal to first name, and value is equal to it is the from user side, so value is equal to blank, and the max length is equal to 100. Okay. Now next is a last name, input type is equal to text, name is equal to last name, value is equal to space, then max length is equal to 100. So end of the form tag, end of the body tag, and end of the HTML tag. After executing this program, we will get this output, that is first name and the text box and the last name and the text box. Okay, this is the program for input text tag. Our next topic is text area. So the HTML text area tag is used within a form to declare a text area element, a control that allows the user to input the text over the multiple rows. See, in the text we can insert a row in a single line. We can insert a text in a single line, but in the text area we can insert a line. We can insert a multiple lines. So the form attribute specifies the form the text area belongs to. The value of this attribute must be equal to the ID attribute of a form element in the same document. Syntax for this text area is text area form equals to form ID. Now there are the different text area tags. The first row is for the first column is for attribute, then value and the description. So first is our COLS, that is cols means a number, value is the number, cols means the columns in the text area. It specified the visible width of the text area, means how many characters wide should be in that text area, that is the cols means columns. Okay. Next is the form. Form is the attribute and value is the form ID. Form ID specifies which form the text area belongs to. Now max length. Max length is the attribute and the value is the number. So then it specifies the maximum number of character allowed in the text area. So max length means maximum overall the text area, how many characters have to insert by the user, that is the max length. Now next is a name. Name attribute has a text value, so it specifies a name for a text area. For example, suppose text area name is equal to comments and end of the text area tag. Okay. So our next attribute is rows. It is the value of rows are the number. So it specifies the visible number of lines in a text area. It just sets how much area should be visible. So example is text area name is equal to comments, cols is equal to 40 and rows is equal to 6. Means in that particular text area of a comments there are the columns 40 columns and the rows are 6 rows. Okay. Now next is a wrap. The wrap text we have seen in that Excel cell, wrap text. So in the JavaScript, wrap value has a hard, soft and off. So and wrap specifies how the text in the text area is to be wrapped when submitting in a form. So first soft means it wraps long line in the text area for easy editing. It does not set the carriage return to the server. Then hard, it looks like the similar to soft, but it sends the carriage return to the server. And off means off does not wrap at all, it just displays and send the text exactly as type in that text area box. So soft means soft means wrap a long line, and hard means it's similar to soft but it sends the carriage return to the server. And off means it does not wrap. Okay, example is text area name is equal to comment, wrap is equal to soft, and end of the text area tag. So we will see one program using text area tags. So this is our program. Type document type is doc type is HTML. In the HTML and head tag and the title tag, HTML text area tag, end of the title tag, end of the head tag. And in the body tag and the form tag, fill the details. So text area rows is equal to 5, calls is equal to 50, and name is equal to description. Okay, and enter your address and the end of the text area. And input type is equal to submit, and the value is equal to send. So after submitting this button, after clicking this button, the value will be sent to the server. Okay, now end of the form tag, end of the body tag, end of the HTML tag. So after executing this code, we will get this output, that is fill in the details, and there is a text area. So text area tag, in that text area tag we can type up to 5 rows and columns up to 50 columns. Okay. So in this way we have learned about the text area and the text. These are the input tags element. Okay, we will see some MCQs. What is the default type of type attribute of a input element? So options are text, password, numerals, special characters, and the answer is A, text. Now second MCQ is which attribute is used for activation of a JavaScript? The options are button, checkbox, URL, submit, and the answer is button. So next is which attribute is not used on new forms? Size, text, name, max length, and answer is size. The next question is which element is used to create multi-line text input? Text area, text area, submit, radio button, and the answer is text area. So the last question is how image attribute works. Options are set an image background, set an image as a submit button, set an image anywhere on the page, and bring default image to the page. And the answer is set an image as submit button. So because set an image as a submit button is the answer, because the syntax of image is input type is equal to image, and src equal to that particular image path. And after this setting, the image provided by URL as a submit button. Then input type image send the x coordinate to y coordinates, and then that's why after clicking that image, it activated by the submit button. Okay. Now these are the MCQs for our input tag elements. Thank you.